And we are back. There's a look at the main stage. Elevate on the left, Faze sitting on your right. And so far, Elevate surprising a lot of people in the crowd, especially after the people who hung around for the Envy series saw Elevate really struggle. Today, a new day, definitely different gameplay being shown.
Yeah, definitely a swing game coming up on this next hard point. We've seen Elevate just play more methodically and fundamentally correct on these respawns. Faze making some mistakes, honestly. They're not putting enough pressure that I've seen them put on other teams, and with that extra space and room on the map, the subs on Elevate taking over. Also, clutch win on Parliament. TJ Halley, his movement, you just see how fluid it is when he's going for those throws, and it completely pays off for them. Compound, one of Faze's strongest hard points. I feel like this is the map that's going to determine the series. Just so much momentum is won off of a map like this. Close quarters, sub types of battle. Let's see if Zuma is going to be able to step up for Faze in these respawns. I hate to just keep bringing him up, but he is definitely the X factor. When he goes positive, they do much better.
Hardwired being enabled here, and we got Zuma on your screen, of course. Ready to go to work, unable to get the first kill, take it over to Attach. Attach on one side, Clayster clearing out players on the other. Clay's gonna open up 3-0, can't find the fourth. Zuma is inside though, and after 24 seconds, neither team able to score.
Good stuff so far from Octane, able to wrap around this yellow bridge. This hill does matter. The time is pretty crucial if you can get a lot of it, but it's more important to get control of this yellow, and we see Octane, perfect area of the map, can just easily pick off people or at least make them weak and only pick up the hill if he absolutely needs to. Great stuff from him overall, and it's all about who's going to get these spawns at yellow. Looks like one player from Faze trying to get in there, but it's a 1v1, huge 1v1 by Octane back there. Gets to the back yellow plat. Octane completely outplaying with the Bell right now. We see it again, another gunfight, huge win by Clay, trying to win that fight back again. More traditional style. We see that sort of anchoring style. TJ take it over for Octane, though. Saw him die. Knew it was his turn to rotate back for those spawns. And you see Clay going for it again. Again, Clay, one of the best anchors we saw in Black Ops 2, showing it again in AW, going for those spawns.
How long do you fight for this spawn on this hill, team?
I say you try and fight for it for the first 30 or so seconds. The rest of it, you just try and contest as much as possible if you're not able to get it, and then just focus on the next. The third and fourth hill kind of lead into each other. You want to try and hold that same spawn point at the back red crate and shack by tunnels. So overall, you have to know when it's time to give it up on this one at yellow, because those could lead up to much more points.
Tips for Teep. We'll look them up on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Clayster making some moves, the two-piece. We're going to be watching, though, the rotation here. Clay on the left side, keep your eye on Attach, have him highlighted. When is he gonna go in for the pinch? Two players dropped, Clay being one of them. The other one, of course, Zuma. It's Attach making his move now. Gets the first with the ASM-1. Clayster right back in the action with the bow from the front, and that is a great break from Faze. 9 seconds later, they are inside of the money hill.
Clay starting to heat up completely. Another three-piece from him, already 14 and 6. They didn't even have control of a hill, and he's still able to pick up so many kills for him and the squad. Huge plays from Attach, though, able to just wait at that red crate, make sure his teammates are getting those spawn next to him so they can get a team push going. Nice plays from Tej, though, able to pick up two. Another punch in the hill for him. Zuma trying to counter, but overall looking like Elevate stronger in these close quarter combat areas. Slack and Tej taking turns in the hill like we saw on Detroit.
Slack just hanging out, waiting for the push. There is a player directly above him. You can see on the mini-map. That's going to be Clay once again. Clay refusing to die. You just watch how long his arrow is able to stay alive. Finally, everyone going to fall. Bit of contention inside, and that's going to be one. It's going to be Saints rotating around. 1-on-1 versus Clay. Big fight there. That's going to keep the spawns, and now you're going to see the advantage back over to Elevate. An 11-point lead. They took the first hard point. Will they be able to do it again?
Yeah, I don't know if I like that play from Saints right there, playing so aggressive at the middle of the map, basically flipping the spawns for him and Faze, letting them spawn up at that red side. Usually you want them spawning out towards the middle or white, because those gunfights are much more advantageous in those tight little alleys, and sure enough, yeah, I think Saints is the one to blame for that break right there. Faze is able to spawn at that red shack at the third hard point, actually. But overall, when kills go in your favor, doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't matter where they're spawning as long as they're not shooting back. Big kills going down. Octane set up with the bow, now switching over to the ASM-1. More bullets in that clip, and he's going to put them to use. Slacked on your screen, rotating through. He's going to be following his teammates. This is a 4-man rotation going down right now. Keep your eye on TJ. Slacked is inside, just waiting to pounce. They know the new hill is going to be in the back. TB, where do you want to keep your opponent spawning here?
Basically, Elevate did that team rotation perfect. You want the other team spawning at that third hard point. Once again, basically, this entire map, Teach, I have to note, picks up 4 right there, racking up more and more, forcing the team wherever they
Teach,
want.
We'll show you.
Basically, you just want to force them out as far as possible, whether it is on that yellow side, but you want to avoid junk as much as possible. This is the junkyard area right here with the broken trucks, the broken plane, trucks, vehicles everywhere. Just a tough area to try and push in and break a hill from. Kills just always going back and forth. It looks like one team has the advantage, and then just a clean wipe happens. Teach picking up 4, and then Faze comes in and breaks once again. Completely back and forth game, but I expect it from 2 high-caliber teams like this that are so good at shooting.
Yeah, speaking of TJ, I mean, we were watching him on that mini-map, and it looked like 3 times he should have died. He won all 3 of those fights, and that's kind of the difference in the score right here. It looked like Faze should have broke the hill. Instead, you're going to see a hefty advantage. 40 points with 5 minutes still to go. Zuma 13 and 18, 9 and 16 from attach, Enable -4 as well. They need more help for Clayster. He's playing lights out, 25 and 18. Someone's got to support this man.
Yeah, completely agree with you there, Puckett. The sub pressure from Elevate, you see it's more of a team effort, not one player carrying most of the weight on his shoulders. Once again, we see yellow is the most important part. We see Faze doing their best. Attachers alone over there, but we see Elevate has control once again. Octane doing a great job of noticing when he needs to get into the hill like that. Another huge gunfight win from him, and they just keep getting the better sides of the map, and that's why the lead keeps going in their favor. I keep saying, when you have the more beneficial side of the map in control, each kill you get adds up more and more.
There's 15 seconds left on the middle hard point, and already you see Octane was fighting for that anchor position. He's gonna lose that battle. Elevate gonna milk this clock though. The lead continuing to grow as Faze falls further and further behind. They've got the better spawns as of now. Slack trying to fix that. Gonna pick up 1, now pulling out a bow. He's got 2 Semtex to work with as well. Picks up another kill, finally gonna fall. Meanwhile, his teammates jumping into the hard point. Elevate playing this perfectly.
Yeah, that one player from Elevate keeps getting behind them, and just it requires so much pressure to get that kill that Elevate is just able to run into the hill, and all they need to do from this point on for the rest of the game is contest as much time as possible. On a map like Compound, you can just easily get into these hills and just milk time. It doesn't matter where you're going from, really. Good spawns, bad spawns, just waste time. Delay, 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 especially with a 50-point lead like this, but need to be careful. Don't focus too much on the second hard point because, like I said before, 3 and 4 is where you get your money time.
Faze is definitely cursing Envy for getting the big win last night. Forcing Elevate to be the #2 team from their pool. Probably the toughest draw out of any of the teams in round 1. Glad to be bringing you guys the action here on our main stage. Keep in mind, we also have another match going down over on Bravo. It'll be this way all the way as we'll probably head into about 11 p.m. here in New Orleans. Looking at the final 2 minutes and 40 seconds of this game, though, 163-115. Elevate leading in another respawn. Only game they've dropped so far was the Search game 2. And it's been a team performance. You look at the numbers across the board, everyone putting up some strong numbers.
Yeah, Slack going in once again, using that sort of dolphin dive feature, gets around and gets that first win on Attach. Zuma and Attach doing their best in the hill, but it's just so much more pressure. 2 people in the hill at all times for Elevate, always getting these intro kills. An intro kill again from Saint, switching back and forth from Bow. We see each player picking up whatever weapon is possible, keep reloading both and keep spraying. Great overall team shots. Look at Faze's spawn right now, spawning further and further away, not having any sort of rotation. There is 2 people trying to contest at next, but Elevate is already there. Slack on the pinch also.
Wow. And Slack just turned and burned on the Attach. You got Saints, who is his partner in crime, back on the previous hill. In action once again. Saints on a ridiculous 5 streak over the last 2 hills. That is going to build the biggest lead of the game for Elevate. Are they going to do it again, TP?
It's looking like it, Puckett. They have complete control of this. Octane switching back and forth. It doesn't matter what weapon he's doing, just doing so much damage to the other team. Not too many kills compared to his teammates, but he's doing so much damage, making them one shot, while Saints and looking like slack. They're cleaning up everyone else, taking turns, getting those intro fights in the hill, making their movement all crazy. And like I said before, all they need to do is contest, looking like it's already mathematically over in this one. Elevate looking so impressive, and they're outperforming Zoom and Attach, something a lot of teams completely struggle with, but they've been doing it consistently on each of these respawns.
Does this team just match up better against Faze than any of the other squads we've seen so far? What is it about Elevate that's causing problems against Faze? You look at Optic,
right?
Faze is kind of the one squad that gives them a super tough time.
Basically, the thing Elevate was missing before was that top tier battle. They had, 4 extremely aggressive players on the ground, and you swap that out. You have someone like Octane that is a very strong and fast bow player. There's 3 players on Elevate that are extremely strong hill players, and they just sort of take turns. Faze kind of only has 2. You have Enable that's sort of that hybrid style. You got Clay that's, I like to call him a statue at times, slower pace, making sure he's going positive, doing his job in a sense, trying to go for those spawns. But they have such a nice balance. You saw Tej sometimes filling in for Octane. Other times on certain hills, filling in for Saints. Going back and forth, that sort of extra man that's more aggressive is what they have over Faze in these respawns. It's showing off, been completely dominant, both hard points completely in Elevate's favor.
First game, difference in your scoreboard, 112 points. This game, they double up Faze's score, and you look at the numbers. No one from Faze above a 1.0. I can't tell you the last time I've seen numbers like this. Incredible performance from Elevate. TJ Halley, a standout so far throughout the first 2 respawns, or the first 2 hard points rather. Coming up next though, we're going back to Search and Destroy. This is where Faze shined earlier in the series. They'll need a big win if they want to stay alive. They got to win out from here as we head to Solar next.